sleeping too late, but tonight I won't let that. Gonna make myself forget about you, baby. Gonna make my head forget your name, 'cause tonight I'm gonna dance the pain away. Forget your name. Gonna make myself forget about you, baby. Gonna make my head forget your name, 'cause tonight I'm gonna dance the pain away. Forget your name. Forget your name. Gonna make myself forget about you, baby. Gonna make my head forget about your name, yeah, yeah.
What is mindset and why is it so important? The truth is, mindset is a very layered topic. And at the Waist Up Wardrobe podcast, it is designed to help you figure out everything that goes into the camera, whether it is visible on camera or subliminal on camera, including your mindset and everything that goes into that. So today in the Waist Up Wardrobe studio, we're going to talk about that. We're going to unpack everything you need to know about mindset, getting a positive mindset aligned with you, and how that will impact you in your business and help you navigate through challenges and even help you through your personal endeavors. So you know the drill. Stick around because we're going to unpack that all in just a minute. Welcome to Waist Up Wardrobe. I'm Christine Vartanian, a civil engineer and attorney turned personal style expert and image consultant. As the founder of Jade for All Seasons, I am passionate about unveiling the inner confidence of my clients by developing their personal style. But is getting dressed up still important in our virtual world? Well, that's where my experience can help with what I call Waist Up Wardrobe. Waist Up Wardrobe is a podcast for all things you need to conduct an outstanding Zoom meeting. It's about how to dress for the camera, but it's not just about the clothes. It's about everything you need to know to show up on brand and professionally for the camera. Join me in the Waist Up Wardrobe studio to discuss how to navigate this virtual world and dominate from behind the desk. Hi, Virtual Nation. Welcome to another episode of Waist Up Wardrobe. This is episode 26. We have half of a year of episodes under our belt. We are on iTunes, so subscribe to us if you can. And if you want to hear everything you need to know about showing up on camera and in your Zoom room to have a great virtual experience for your viewer and really dominate from behind the desk. Waist Up Wardrobe is designed, as I always say, to really become a series of episodes that help you create that best camera presence, right? It is about creating the best camera presence, whether what your viewer is seeing or what they're feeling, what they're engaging with. So whether it's subliminal coming through the camera or visible, everything you need to know is here at the Waist Up Wardrobe podcast. And today we're going to tackle one of those issues that is sort of subliminal. It's one of those things that is definitely a waist up wardrobe topic, but it's not that typical thing that you think about. It's not a visual thing that your viewer sees. It's more about your mindset and how you are translating on camera and how that is making your viewer feel about you, whether you're being confident or showing that, and how it's all really coming together on camera. But before we move forward and dig deep into this really involved topic, I wanted to just welcome and thank my very, very awesome producer, Rick Moscoso, who's always here in the production room making everything work. And he might have an appearance or two to chip in on this topic about mindset as an entrepreneur from his own experiences. So thank you, Rick. I know you're there and you can hear me. And now I just want to talk about how, mindset is really a very broad topic. And so what we're going to do as a kickoff episode to several mindset episodes. So this is going to be a series. It's going to be several episodes strung together to bring you a different perspective on mindset. So you're going to be looking at it from all these different angles. And today we're just going to set the stage for what that might entail. And I'm going to leave you some questions to think about how this might apply to you, how this topic might help you really, work on your mindset, or really show you what you're doing right that is helping you get through challenges in business and really in your personal affairs. Because when your mindset is right in general, it really impacts all areas of your life. So, you might ask me right now, well, why is, mindset a waistUP wardrobe topic? It seems so not what you'd actually expect to hear on a show called waistUP Wardrobe. Again, I'm going to say that waistUP Wardrobe is more than just about the clothes. waistUP Wardrobe is about everything that is in this box, whether it's visible to your audience or whether they feel it or it comes through in any way. So that is precisely why this is important. And the other thing is your mindset and how you show up on camera really mentally impacts how you're acting. It impacts how you're being perceived. And sometimes we are challenged. We are going through challenges in our business. And let me take for an example today. Right. Today, I was dealing with a lot of things in my business, and it felt like I couldn't get my mind in the right place to be on camera. But as an entrepreneur, you really have to put that cap on of, you know what? This is the show that I need to focus on. This is what I have to do right now. And that is what entrepreneurs do. They rise above challenges and they really focus on what's at hand and the problem that needs to be solved. So today we're going to talk about mindset. We're going to talk about how, as a professional, this impacts us in business. And we're also going to talk about why it's important, and really define mindset as a foundation to the next series to come. And just to give you a little taste of what's to come, we're going to be talking with entrepreneurs. We're going to be talking with coaches, business coaches who understand why mindset is so important for their people that they mentor. We're going to talk with meditation experts that help give you that clarity to really hone in on those positive mindset attributes. So this is going to be an amazing, I want to say like a rainbow of ingredients that go into this idea of mindset, because mindset is a very layered, big, broad topic. So the second question you might ask is, well, why does Christine have the authority or credibility to be able to get on camera and talk to me about mindset? Well, the first foremost reason is that we all have experience with mindset, right? It's my personal experience with mindset. And why I can speak to it, I've thought about this a lot, and here's a couple of reasons. In the 20 years of being a parent, I have studied mindset in a very, very deep way, in a very comprehensive way. I am helping raise children and trying to make them good citizens and the best people they can be. I've read a lot of material on mindset and the different types of mindset and how to improve mindset. And I was always led by a foundational book that was introduced to me early on as a parent. It's called, and it's hard to see this. Oh, there we go. It's called Mindset. It's by Carol Dweck. And maybe some of you have heard about that. We are actually going to put the link to this book in the chat. Now, I think this is a very old version because remember, I told you 20 years of raising kids. So this was early on in my parenthood, but it was truly the foundation of how to get mindset right. And little did I know that this education that I gave myself would inform what I got to do later in my business. And it actually taught me how to get my mindset right and more positive. So it's an excellent book on foundation of how your mindset can contribute to your success and to you reaching your potential, not only for children, which now it's so great that we get to raise children with this idea, but also for anybody that really is trying to get that mindset that will keep them on the right track, keep them successful, help them get through challenges. So that's where I would say most of my experience is with mindset, although I am going to add a few other things that make me feel very confident in speaking about this topic. Not only did I study mindset in rearing children and the differences between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, which we're going to be talking about a lot later in the show. But those two concepts of people who have a fixed mindset and people who have a growth mindset, those are the two things I studied in depth that really impact us as adults and as business owners. And we're going to talk more about that as the show continues. The other thing is I came from what you call a very fixed mindset, my upbringing, my values, my culture. And what that is in general is, my upbringing was more like you had to be a professional such as an attorney, a doctor, or a dentist to be successful. And we all know that that's really not true. I personally know that because I have I have the attorney degree and I practiced as an attorney, but today I do something completely different, which is completely the other side of my brain. And I really have done things I never thought I could do. I came from this fixed mindset that told me I could only be successful doing a certain finite number of things. And yet I really enjoy what I do today. It makes me happy. And I actually run a profitable business doing it. So I've shifted my mindset throughout my life from that fixed mindset and really shifted it to more of a growth mindset. And that was not where I came from. And, that alone, that experience alone really does give me a lot to talk about and to be able to dialogue with the audience about. And going through law school and going through engineering school was really not aligned with my gift as much as my creative side. So actually that struggle, the can-do attitude that I really put my mind to was a very much a growth mindset attribute, which is sort of against my upbringing. So that again, too, gives me this opportunity to really share my experience. And hopefully somebody out there can relate to this and understand how this can be very impactful and that transition, that journey that you can go through from thinking one way, but really trying to be open-minded and shifting it to another way. Because we have our world changes today in minutes, right? As soon as you learn something, the next day there's something new to learn. So you have to be in that growth mindset. Otherwise, you really get stuck. And that is one thing that has been very challenging for business owners that really stay in that fixed mindset, is that they do it one way. They're comfortable doing it one way. It's worked great for them for a while, but now things are changing. Their competition is doing it a little bit differently. And the way that their competition is doing it is working for their client base and their sphere of influence. And so you have to stay within that change. Otherwise, you end up becoming the old news, and then your business can get impacted. So that's another reason why this topic is so critical and so important. A lot of my work with my clients, this is the last reason why I really feel very confident talking on this topic, is that a lot of work with my clients involves shifting their mindset. As you know, my overarching business, Jade for All Seasons, is a business that helps its clients feel great in the way that they are showing up in the world in terms of their image, the way they dress, the way they put things together. But not everybody a lot of my clients, in fact, are overwhelmed by that process. They don't think they're uncomfortable with it. They come in sometimes thinking, I don't really want to do this. I really can't transform. And then they go through a transformation and their mindset shifts. And a lot of my work is really that inside work that then really combined with the outside style and the outside work gives you the full experience. So again, that is me hands-on being able to, talk from my experience about the mindset shifts that I've seen, I've witnessed, that I've taught for my family, and that I've been through personally. So let's move on, because let's face it, this mindset topic is a very big topic, and it is very layered, and there's a lot to unpack. And that's precisely why I have created, in the next several episodes, a lot of angles that you can look at mindset from. So we're going to be talking to a meditation expert that will really help us clear our minds so that we can actually, shift those mindset, those fixed mindset things that are holding us back, those limiting beliefs. And then we're going to be talking to entrepreneurs who are serial entrepreneurs who have really been dynamic and they understand mindset so well from being leaders in their company and from running their own businesses, that they have so many experiences to share and transformations to tell us about. And then we have coaches who are actually in the trenches with their clients, teaching them and leading them and guiding them to shift negative mindset behaviors into positive ones and leading them through these success paths. I can speak to that firsthand. My very own coach has helped me work on my mindset, which is so interesting because, again, like I explained, I come from a very fixed mindset. You can only be one thing. You can only do it one way. You can't do everything. To now, I feel like really anything I put my mind to, I can do. So part of that was me working internally, and part of it was just being coached by really dynamic coaches who understand how to make those mindset shifts. So you are in for a treat this month. At least we're going to have 4 or 5 episodes on these various topics, and it's all about your waist-up appearance subliminally. So how we know that this impacts our business, just really figuring out our positive mindset. We know that it impacts our personal life. And for just a moment, I'm going to put Rick, my producer, in the hot seat because I want to get his perspective on mindset, that how it's impacted his business and how he deals with that when he's talking to his clients. Because I know, Rick, that when you put people on camera, there's some mindset shifts that have to happen. Am I right?
There's no question about it. Yeah. It's getting out of their comfort zone, getting to realize that you really do know or have something to talk about, because it's kind of interesting because the first question they ask me is when they do get on camera or they do video production, they go, well, what am I going to talk about? Which is kind of a funny question. But there are a lot of factors to mindset changes when you're sitting in front of the camera.
Right, absolutely. And I think that there's a lot of work that you did with me for being on camera that really helped me shift my mindset. In fact, I think every iteration, everything we've done to create this show, there was a small mindset shift involved, because that's a mouthful of a word. Because there's the camera confidence. That could be a mindset issue. I didn't really want to be on camera every week. That seems like a lot of work, and it is. But I have to say that the journey of doing it and the journey of being coached to do it right has really made it easier for me. I don't dread being on camera as much as I used to.
Oh, no, because I remember those days when you were just terrified and you asked those same questions. What am I going to talk about? What am I going to say? And, what if I make a mistake? Well, today that's all about just being authentic and spontaneous in front of the, in front of the camera. Your show is structured, and we know a lot of the questions ahead of time that we're going to ask and that you're going to interview the guest with. But at the same time, there is a little bit of spontaneity to it, and which it should be. So it's more conversational, and it's okay if you make mistakes in front of the camera, as long as you're willing to take that risk. The mistakes will be minimized with practice and experience. And you were speaking about a book from Susan Dweck. I'm a John Maxwell fan.
Yeah, it's Carol Dweck.
Carol
Dweck.
Clear,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a John Maxwell fan. I've read a lot of his books, probably a couple times because they were kind of hard to comprehend at first. But I love his one of his books called Failing Forward, and it kind of put a new perspective on mindset for me, because it's basically the concepts of turning mistakes into stepping stones, for success. So if you haven't read that, that's a good read.
Absolutely, we should put that link in the chat here too for everybody, because the whole study of mindset is so important. It's such a foundational piece to success and meeting challenges in business and in your professional life, but also I think it totally informs your personal life too. So that is, and just thinking about every step of the way, recording this show, mistakes. I had to have a huge mindset shift around mistakes. Like right now, as I say the word wrong, as I butchered the word, but I have a hard time making mistakes, and it comes from that quality and burden called perfectionism. And really I had to understand that you have to let that go, because that's human to make mistakes. And people get that and they actually appreciate that. The other thing is just not, mistakes are part of the process. I feel now. I feel like when I make a mistake, it just helps me become a better speaker. It helps me create another better show, which that has been a real revelation. So shifting my mindset around making mistakes, not trying to make things perfect, has really been a critical piece of this, as well as shifting my mindset about, well, do I really want to be on camera? I really don't want to be in the spotlight or on the spot every single week. But it's amazing the growth that I've experienced through creating this show.
Well, I can tell you, it's very inspirational to see someone else who's afraid to be in front of the camera make mistakes, because there's a lot of people out there who want to do something like this, something that you're doing, but they're afraid because, what if I make a mistake? What if I say the wrong thing? But, in watching your growth from week 1 to now episode 26, you've made a great progression to where you are today. And it's inspiring, I think, to a lot of people that watch these shows on a weekly basis, to see that progression along, and then now see where you're at, where you're comfortable in front of the camera. I know in your mind it's like, I never want to make a mistake, but that's always going to be with you. But you've accepted that it's going to happen, and I think I kind of helped you prepare for a lot of the variables in streaming live that can happen, whether it's a bad connection or somebody drops out or whatever. You have to expect the unexpected. You have to accept that I may make a mistake in trying to describe something, or there's a tech issue. It's all part of it.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that was the biggest challenge I faced, is trying to be okay with the uncertain. I mean, I know we script this, we do the best we can to make it so that it's a very well prepared and organized show, but I can't tell you that first time we dropped somebody on the feed, that was very nerve-wracking for me. But what I loved about it is I actually, and this is part of my growth mindset that I've fostered in myself, is that I do have a can-do attitude. That is something that I really know about myself. And I don't think there's anything really that I can't do as long as I put my mind to it. So when I experienced that, I really felt like I have to work through this. And that is really an attribute of a growth mindset, which, I have a lot of challenges I work through, but I really feel like I can, I saved the show when we've had drops, and I was comfortable doing it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't expected, which is very difficult for me. But again, with the can-do attitude, you can overcome it.
Yeah. I all I can say to that is that for you, you've changed, you've adapted to the many variables that are out there when you're live streaming or just being in front of the camera. You've adapted really well, and that puts you in a really good position mentally, mindsetly, if that's a word, to scale when you're ready to scale, to pivot when you need to pivot, like we're all trying to pivot right now. And when it comes to that point, it's a lot easier to do because your mind is in that adaptive phase. That's the way you're thinking now, because you have to be agile to be successful.
Absolutely. You have to have that mental agility. That is such a great, I love that. We just coined a term, mental agility. And and you know what? Actually, a topic of conversation a lot in entrepreneurial circles and in the the thought leader world is that one of the things that makes people really successful is there's so many things, of course, but one of the most important things, or equally important things, is the adaptation quotient of people. How can they adapt and adjust to something they didn't expect, right? And that really is such an important concept. That is a mindset thing. That is a mindset concept. You have to be able to be adaptable. You have to be able to take your mind off of how you were thinking things were going to go to how do I now solve this? So
you said something that just triggered a thought, because we have a friend who's eventually going to be on one of your episodes. When you spoke about fixed mindsets, it also brought up the thought of limiting beliefs, right? Mm-hmm. And so, although a fixed mindset could be a cultural belief, something that you've been raised with, a limiting belief somewhere embedded in you, we all have them, is something that is very difficult to change and overcome in order to change your mindset. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is hard work. Mm-hmm. If you are coming from a place where you've been taught you can't do something if you don't have that intelligence quotient, if you're either intelligent or you're not, that's hard to overcome if that's been ingrained in you. Because, as young human beings, your mind gets set in its ways, and the thought of being able to adapt, to change that view is actually the sign of somebody that really has that can-do attitude and shift their mindset.
I can bring up an example. It's kind of funny because last night I was on a meeting with an organization that I'm associated with, and a lot of the members are a little older. They're ingrained in their ways, and I was helping somebody else propose new tools, new techniques, new software to be more efficient, to be more productive, for the membership. And one of the comments that I heard, and it was like I was waiting for it because I knew it was going to come, was, well, that's the way we've always done it.
Yeah.
And so if you can overcome that statement and be open to changing the way you think about things, you're going to open the door to many more possibilities, many more avenues of success. So, at the end of the day, get over it, right?
Right, exactly. Get over it. It's time to just do the work, right? Mm-hmm. So I thank you, Rick, for that, because I think your viewpoint really helps a lot, because you are in this production world, and there's so many shifts that have to happen with people to be able to pull off a show or to get in front of a camera lens. So your perspective is very unique, and I really do enjoy perspectives of different people and different things. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate you because of you being able to mentor me in this world. So, and helping me shift my mindset. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. Christine. And thank you for coming on up, showing up on the show on the screen at any given moment.
And on the spur of the moment, I even changed my colors to match the hat. So
yes, the waistUP wardrobe hat. Well, I want to just, start by laying a little bit of foundation on this topic of mindset. Let's talk a little bit about what mindset is really. What is the definition of mindset? I know that we kind of all know instinctively what it is, but let's really define it formally. It is an established set of attitudes held by somebody. It's sort of those ingrained things that you have in you that you either were cultured with, grew up with, or think about. And that's sort of the definition of mindset. So today, just allow me to just lay a foundation for the episodes to come and leave you with a couple of thoughts and ideas and questions for you to marinate and percolate on, because as we go through the next several episodes, I think you'll get a lot of value of just kind of percolating on some of these things, maybe even picking up a copy of Carol Dweck's book, The Mindset, and how her new psychology really impacts the potential for people to really reach their goals and meet their challenges and overcome them. As well as there's so many studies out there on mindset. It is really the way of the 21st century. When I talk about fixed mindset, that I'm not unique personally in the fact that I grew up in a culture where you had to be a certain thing or do a certain thing a certain way, or things that you could do or can't do. I think many people, were raised that way, and everybody does the best they can. That is just our parents' frame of reference. But the 21st century and the way we think and grow in the 21st century is very different because things are changing fast. We have technology that is speedy. We have ideation in our world happens in seconds. And creations and inventions, things go fast. And to not change, to not be open to think differently, to not have an open and positive mindset can really hold us back in business and in life. So let me just lay the foundation and set the stage for some episodes to come. And I touched a little bit about fixed mindset and its counterpart, growth mindset. So you have fixed mindset on one side and you have the growth mindset on the other side. So some common ideas of fixed mindsets, and then this is just so everybody can percolate on this and think about it, is things that were said to you or that you've said that I'm not good at something and I'll never be good at it, or I can't learn anything now, it's too late for me, or there is no point in trying if I'm going to fail, or I take feedback as a personal attack, I just can't take that criticism. I always struggle and I always will struggle is another fixed mindset that many people believe that hold them back. I feel threatened by the success of others, which I think is such an interesting thought. We want to be inspired by the success of others. And that is what the counterpart of that piece is in a growth mindset. Instead of feeling threatened by it, you feel inspired by it. You feel like, oh, they can do it, I can do that too. Another fixed mindset idea is that I have no power to change things. That to me is, it renders somebody powerless in their life. Everybody has power to change things. They have to just put their mind to it. And, a lot of this is easier said than done. Of course, this is not easy work. This is hard. And, you might have out of 10 fixed mindset ideologies, you might be really good and positive in like 8 of them. And this 2 of them challenge you still. And that's really the idea. The idea about mindset, it is an ever evolving thing that we are working on as human beings in our journey and in our path to success and our path to overcoming challenges. Another one is my current abilities are the measure of my outcomes. Some people think that if they're not intelligent in something, they just will never be. And I firmly believe, and I know that all the research on mindset has said the actual opposite. You can be great at things that you once thought were hard for you. It's just a matter of putting your mind to it. And some people that have a fixed mindset might say, well, I know everything I need to know. I don't need to know anything further. And finally, I've always been told I can't do something. And so those are examples of the common, and there's so many out there, fixed mindset ideologies. But those are some of the common ones that we hear. And my question to the audience is, can you relate to that? Are any of those things that maybe you've been told as your younger self, or that you formulated about yourself as an opinion on your own? And how have you dealt with that? Have you tried to overcome it, or have you accepted that mindset as the true you? So that's something we want to talk about. It's something that the book Carol Dweck has written really takes people on that journey of understanding that better. And so now let's compare it to what the counterpart, the growth mindset would say in response, the opposite of what that fixed mindset ideas are. So if your fixed mindset said to you, I'm not good at something and I never will be, a growth mindset says, I can be good at anything and I just need to figure out how to do that. If your fixed mindset says, I can't learn, it's too late, your counterpart growth mindset says, it's never too late to try anything. So you can see the opposite, contrasting effect of what a growth mindset it tells you and informs you to do, and what a fixed mindset informs you to do. And I will be sending anybody who's interested a checklist and a downloadable of, if they want this, they'll have to put the hashtag mind and shine at the end of the show, or really anytime you can put it in now. And you'll be sent a downloadable checklist of what a fixed mindset common ideas are and their counterpart growth mindsets. and really have a chance to marinate on that and think about that and think about where you're doing great and where you've persevered and overcome certain challenges and mind blocks and limiting beliefs, and where you actually have been able to power through and create that beyond your potential experience by really being part of a growth mindset. So the essential question that I'm going to leave you with here today, because this is we're setting the forum for everything to come. This is going to be, like I said, we're going to have meditation experts. We're going to have business coaches who help people scale businesses to multi-million-dollar business. We're going to have, CEOs and real estate moguls and people who speak on mindset, and even trainers who train people to have that mental strength, that mental mindset that they need to overcome physical challenges. So this is going to be really interesting. And I just want to leave you with an essential question here. I want you to think, as you look at that downloadable list, or as you think through any of those things I said about the fixed mindset, can you relate to any of that? Have any of those ideas been your experience? Have you been able to overcome it? Have you never thought you could? So those are some essential questions for you to just kind of percolate on until we start the series and start answering a lot of these questions and giving real concrete solutions to how you can overcome some fixed mindset things that you really haven't tackled. And your mindset, I just also want to leave you with the idea that your mindset really shapes the course of your business. It shapes how you meet challenges and how committed you can be to overcoming them. It also helps you in your personal life because, everything ingrained in us kind of spills over into every area of our life, whether it's our personal life or our business life or our family life. And it is really important. And it really is a waistUP wardrobe topic, because everything you do in this box here translates. There's everything that you say, the way you move. We've talked about body language. We've talked about so many things. And all those little things are really creating a rapport with your audience. All those little things are telling your audience something about you. If you are not confident about something, it shows. If you're not sure about something, it shows. So that's why mindset is so critical to showing up on camera and as we navigate through this virtual world. And so my gift to you today is that downloadable. It really is a really cool little tool because it gets you reflecting on what you're doing well and what you have to work on. So if you want that tool, I will, send me an email. My email is Christine@jadeforallseasons.com, and Rick will put that in the chat box. I will send you that downloadable. Also insert hashtag Mind and Shine, because that helps me identify you and know that, we that's something that you really want to learn more about. And look at that as a kickstart to all the amazing topics we're going to be talking about. I'm going to conclude, of course, with the waistUP Wardrobe weekly wrap-up. And the one takeaway I just want everybody to really think about is that working on positive mindset is a continual journey. I just want you to think about that. We're always evolving as human beings. We're always trying to live our best life and create that best outcome for ourselves. So if nothing else, just remember that a positive mindset is something that you cultivate. It's something that you work on all the time. And the tips that I want to leave you with is, if you get your hands on the downloadable, look at it and compare the differences and see where you are successful and where you are really working hard at and what you want to improve. And the tool, that downloadable tool, will be a really interesting. It's interesting from a psychology standpoint, but also the book that Carol Dweck wrote that really educated me on this topic in a big way. Is a very powerful tool as well. And that is also on this page, and the link is there. And finally, action items. Pick one thing on that list of fixed mindsets that you think you're not really convinced that you're doing that as best as you can, and start working on it. Just one thing. just one thing off of that fixed mindset list. And, maybe we will even put that downloadable on the page. So for those who, watch the replay, they might want to just look at it right while it's right there. So we'll do that. That should be pretty easy to do because I don't handle technology. Rick does, but we'll do that so that you can actually have that list right there. And hi, Saz. Yes, you had the older book at some point, and I have the older version of the book as well. Now they have that new version of it, but it is such a wealth of education. Really has helped me. It helped me because I came from that fixed mindset. And I was determined not to put my kids in that fixed mindset. And so that's where all my education started. And I really value that. So thank you for being here, Saz. So I just want to thank you for being here. I remind you that waistUP wardrobe is not just about the clothes. It's about everything that comes off on the camera, whether it's subliminal or visible. And that's what makes this show so comprehensive. That is my goal. I want you to put your best face forward in every area of your life. And I will do my very best to get every expert here on the show that can give you those different perspectives. And next Thursday at 11:30, we'll be here at the very same place with a very special guest who will get us in that meditating mindset, where we can clear our mind and really shift those beliefs, those limiting beliefs that are holding us back. And, she'll help get us into that place and just, be here for these episodes because each one will be powerful. And subscribe to us on iTunes and bring a friend next week if you can.